I have been using Cline for past couple of weeks and I found it pretty powerful and indeed very underrated. In short, for those of you who have heard about Cline for the first time, it's an AI coding agent with which you can build advanced level softwares and applications even if you are still a beginner programmer. It brainstorms along with you on your initial ideas and also suggests you potential improvements and writes the code for you. So before diving any further on how to install it and use it, you might be wondering, Anam, but wait, there are many other AI coding agents out there like Cloud, Windsurf, Cursor. So why Cline? What's so special about it? The main difference is that it is completely open source. So you can see how it works under the hood and you can even fork it and make your own version if you want. It's fully configurable, so you can use different models of your choice. And because of this comes great flexibility on pricing. So every model will have its own cost consumption and performance trade-offs, unlike other AI coding agents like Windsurf and Cloud, where you have to pay fixed cost for fixed prompts credits per month and only stick with their own proprietary models. Cline works in a pay-as-you-go fashion, while the tool itself is free, but you only pay for the AI models you connect to. For example, Gemini, Cloud, OpenAI, etc. And Cline shows you exactly how much each API call you're making is costing you. And because of this, you have control over cost such that you switch to the cheaper model while planning your design and switch to heavier or smarter model when you switch to the act mode while it writes the code for you. And I will show you exactly how this plan and act mode works very shortly, so don't get confused right now. And because it's open source, Cline is built on zero trust architecture, which means that all of the processing happens right on your machine. So your code never leaves your computer or gets sent to any external server. So if you're working on a, let's say, private or enterprise project, your data stays fully under your control. And because all of its source code is available on GitHub, you can actually audit everything. So you or your even security team can review every single line of code, see exactly what data is sent to the AI providers and understand how it makes the decisions. So this is also one of its unique feature where you are not just using a smart coding agent, but you are using one that's transparent, private, and secure by design. So when you create a new task in Cline, you usually have rough idea on your end goals, but you might not know exactly what steps to get there. If you keep on correcting the AI over and over, you end up wasting both token costs and the time. And that's where plan and act mode comes in. So in plan mode, Cline takes time to fully understand your requirements before writing any code. Think of it as like putting an AI in a maze without a map. So it uses its abilities to explore your files, read through your repository, and ask you clarification questions until it has got a clear picture of what needs to be done. So this phase is cheap since it's mostly reasoning and strategy rather than heavy code generation. So once you are confident that Cline has got everything, you then switch to the act mode. Now it takes the plan, the context, and all of the details gathered earlier and starts implementing the solution. And this is where it edits the code, runs the commands, and actually builds the things. Okay, I think enough talking. Let's install Cline and see it in action, and you will get all of your remaining question answers while we work on it. So stick around till the end. Okay, so there are several ways of installing it. So you just click install Cline and it will give you which IDE you want to go for. And for my case, I use JetBrains product. So you click on install and it says that it's available on their plugins. So either you can install it from here or you go into your IDE, go to plugins and search for Cline. And I've already installed it, but it's asking for an upgrade. So why not? Let's do an upgrade. Right. So it's going to take a while, but the installation process for other IDEs, like if you're using VS Code, should be really similar. And okay, it's asking for a restart. Let's go ahead. Right, and after you have successfully installed Cline, you will see this icon on your left panel on PyCharm, and that's what indicates Cline is installed. All right, so let's try not to build something too complex so that this video does not get prolonged. Right, so at the bottom right, you can see where you can switch between these two modes. So for now, let's stick it with the plan mode. Let's talk about our initial idea and see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is something that just popped up in my mind and we're just gonna keep it simple for now. So what I asked it to build is like, I want to build a simple web-based chat application. It should allow real-time two-way communication between each browser client. So upon each new client, it should ask for the client name and add it into the room. And every message sent by each client should be broadcasted to all of the online clients. Right, let's see what it thinks about it. Right. So I see the problem because I think we failed to set the API provider first, and by default, it's picking up the cloud. So go to settings at the top right corner. Here you can see the API provider is cloud. So we are going to change that. You can see there are several providers here. So for any of the external provider you want to select, for example, Google Gemini, you have to provide its API key. And similarly, we have other bunch of models available. So for now, we are just gonna stick with the Cline, and Cline has its own built-in models, as you can see. So we're gonna stick with the recommended one, which is the Claude model itself, and this is built into the Cline API provider, which is good. So the context window is the max amount of text the model can see at once. It's a limit, not a cost itself, so you only pay for the tokens the model actually processes. So the enable thinking slider bar, which is set to 1062, so that's the token budget for the model's internal reasoning and planning. So on each of the API calls, it's going to consume very little amount, but they add up when your application grows bigger and bigger with many API calls. And here, if you want to select different modes for plan and act, then you tick this, and here you will see another separate tab for plan and act mode. So for now, we're just gonna stick with the same model for both of the modes. And now let's go ahead and click the retry button and see. All right, so the technical stack it's thinking about is using the Node.js and Socket IO. So I'm more fond of using Python tech stack. So let's ask it to use Python instead. And here you can see how many tokens are consumed. And for each API request, you can see how much it's costing us. So which is really good. And right, there you go. So, oh, okay, interesting. It's using Python with Flask and Python Socket IO. That's exactly what I'm more familiar with. So it is gonna be easy for me to see what's going on, and and in case if I want to debug anything. Okay, that looks fine. Key features: username prompt on the page load, real-time message broadcast, user join leave notifications, display online users, simple clean UI, single chat room. I think that should be pretty much it. That's what we want for now, at least. And now let's go ahead and switch to act mode and let it build the app. There you go. So you can see it's doing the changings in real time. And now, in fact, we do need to approve it. See, client wants to create a new file. Okay, sure, save. I think each file you have to accept the changes before it can save it, right? Save. Now it's building the client.js file. Now it's building the style.css. Total till now we have consumed 22 cents for now, which is not bad. Okay, I think it has finished writing the code for us. Now it's asking us to um no, actually I don't want it to execute this command because I would like to have a separate virtual environment for this. Yeah, that's why I've just unticked the enable. Right, so seems like for saving the files, it asks us to save. That's the manual step, even if you enable the auto approve. But for running the commands like this one, pip install requirements, I enabled this auto approve, so that's why it ran the command for us. Yeah, no, so now I have disabled it, and that's because I wanted to install this all of the packages in a separate virtual environment, which seems like it did not created one. And let me ask it to do that. I'm gonna click reject for now. Client wants to execute this command, right? So, okay, I'm gonna say do it. Right, okay. Go ahead, run command. It creates a virtual environment. So you see, it's running all of these commands into the terminal for us, which is nice. Now it's gonna activate the virtual environment and install all of those packages. And now it's going to again activate the virtual environment and run the app. All right, moment of truth. Let's go ahead and run it. Oh, it seems like it has made another changings. I need to fix the server startup by adding the allow unsafe parameter for development purpose. All right, sure, go ahead. All right, run command. Interesting. So it seems like the client is now using a browser within its own window to see how the web app will look like. Very nice. So let's approve this. That looks really nice. Okay. Still thinking. It's doing something. Interesting. It's doing the testing in real time. Okay, okay. Very nice. Okay, we'll let it run and test it by itself first before we do our own testing. Interesting. Let me increase this window size. I really like the UI. Step 8 out of 8. So this is the last step, all right? Okay. Task completed. I successfully built blah blah blah. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Now let us. Oh, okay. It's giving us the run instructions as well. Cool. Very nice. Okay, now thank you so much. I don't want you to do anything now. Let me test this app by myself now. All right, open the terminal, enable the virtual environment, app.py. The address is already in use. Is this client already using this address? I thought it stopped it. Okay, tell you what, let's change the port number. So maybe let's call it 8000. And let's run it in a different port. All right, let's go to our browser and go to localhost 8000. Very nice, interesting. Let me full screen this. And I'm gonna start off by writing my name, join the chat. Hello, everyone. Interesting. So I'm gonna open this app on a separate browser or maybe in a new tab on the same browser. Localhost 8080. I don't know, let's call it John. Right, you can see John and you can also see the other participants who are currently live. Hi, I am John. And you should be able to see the message from John on the other tab where I have joined with my own name. So let's see what happens if I try to close this window. Will this user Anam Shiraz go away? Ah, it did. Interesting. So we have seen how the client took our initial idea of the web chat application and designed everything for us from scratch. And of course, this was a pretty simple application idea just to keep everything within a confined time. But you can go ahead and take this further and you can ask the client to make the changes in the app and add more advanced features in it, like for example adding rooms or sending messages to the specific users who are online. But yeah, that was a good experience so far, and I hope you got a clear understanding of what Cline is and what it's capable of and how to use it. If you have any more questions, please mention them down in the comments below. I will try my best to answer them. And yeah, that is all for now. Stick around and I'm gonna bring more interesting videos on other AI agents as well and bringing some more interesting real world projects. So yeah, make sure to follow and thumbs up if you like the video. So I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.